is the Glass Cannon Network.
Welcome back to the Broken World. And today's actual play of Broken Weave, a new setting for 5e from Cubicle 7. I'm Jared Logan, and with me I have some Glass Cannon cast members, some Glass Cannon regulars, some of my favorite people in the world.
That's not what you were saying before we started.
And I'm not going to tell you which one. I'm not going to tell you which one. Please welcome Matthew Capodicasa, Kate Stamas, Paula Deming, and Jason Charles Miller. How's it going, guys?
Hey. Hi. Great.
I'm going to choose to believe I'm one of the three.
That's right. That's good.
That's right.
Yeah, that's you. You know what you are, Matthew?
Wink, wink. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Cringe face. He made a cringe face.
I love all of you equally. And you're all, you know what? In a way, you're all my children. You know, you're all my daughters.
Yeah. We are.
Daughters of Jared.
My girls.
Daughters of Jared.
We should get
like a cult. Daughters of Jared.
Yeah, it does.
We are all the daughters of Jared.
We're actually all in his underground bunker prisoner.
Right now.
Please help us.
Right.
Let us out.
Help.
You're all my daughters, and that's why you're not allowed to leave your rooms. Now play Broken Weave with me. This is part 2 of our Broken Weave stream. If you didn't watch part 1, go back and watch that. I just want to tell everybody a little bit about Broken Weave. So it's from Cubicle 7, as I mentioned. It's an incredible new post-apocalyptic fantasy setting for 5e, and you can start buying it, and you should, on September 18th. So basically the idea, and we kind of covered this in the last one, but let's all reacquaint ourselves, is that there was some sort of horrible apocalyptic cataclysm in the distant past that broke magic in this magical world. It is a magical world of elves and dwarves and halflings, but all of them have been magically broken by whatever this event was. And now each of the different lineages suffers a curse. Elves or half-elves like Paula's character suffer the curse of earth, where they slowly turn into crystal.
I got geodes springing out of me.
Geodes, especially Paula, whose decay level. Decay is the force that mutates the world. It doesn't just mutate people, it mutates the landscape itself. And Paula's character has the most decay. What decay are you at right now?
I'm at 4.
Oh, holy shit, it's
not
awful.
Great. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah.
But it can go higher. It has to get pretty high. I think it has to get to 10 before you turn into a horrible geode monster called a scythe.
Just trapped inside a stone encasing, kind of like that episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender when they meet Boomy for the first time.
Oh, I've never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. I hear it's great. It is
one of the best TV shows of all time, the animated one specifically.
Well,
you should watch it with your kids. You should watch it with your kids.
If you love Avatar: The Last Airbender, you'll love Broken Weave.
Totally.
It's basically the same thing.
By the way, thank you, Paula, because I was a voice in 6 episodes.
Whoa!
I didn't know for sure, and I didn't want to make it weird.
Jason, I knew you were famous.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
In Ba Sing Se. No way.
Wait, what?
I'm freaking out now.
That was me.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I quote you all the time.
Not to turn this into like Avatar: The Last Airbender fan episode or something.
Yeah, no, go ahead. That's fine.
I'm really excited right now.
We'll let Paula fan out, send Jason some stuff to sign, maybe a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Next time we're hanging out, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But just to get back into Broken Weave
Broken Weave,
sorry.
Thank you, sponsor.
I couldn't let it go by without saying. Yeah.
No, of course. So So the setting is warped and twisted, and it's a wasteland. And the survivors, all the heroes in this game are called survivors, and they build communities called havens. And our character's haven is called Guardian's Lament. And the quest and the problem that faced our heroes, our survivors last time, was that a Titan was headed directly toward Guardian's Lament. Guardians Lament, their community, where everybody they love and live with dwells, is about to be trampled by a Titan. And if you want to know what a Titan is, think Neon Genesis Evangelion meets Godzilla meets the Tarrasque from D&D. It's a big, giant, 700-foot, maybe not that big, but very large monster, colossal. And it is headed right toward your haven, and it trails decay in its wake, warping the landscape around it. And your characters already went to another haven, Lantern Deep, and saw how it had been destroyed by just kind of being near the Titan when the Titan walked through. So, how's everybody feeling? Before we get back into the story, how's everybody feeling about where their character is right now, or how do you think you're likely to stop this Titan? Like, what do you think your chances are?
Hard no.
The Titan has already dropped 2 of us to dying.
Just by like glinting the sun at them.
Yeah.
With a laser.
We had to make death save.
We're
That's
level
right.
1.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And yeah, you're a very, very fragile level 1.
Yeah, unless we talk to these birds and they give us some clue to some magical weapon that can defeat the Titan. I'm not sure how we would do it with our own devices.
Yeah.
I have a thing that I'm confused about. I brought this up a little bit before we started recording, but I still don't have clarity, and I feel like it's important because it became an issue at the end of last episode, which is that apparently Paula's character and my character are adoptive sisters, and I had no idea. So are we?
Cool. I'll just never feel like I'm part of the family. It's fine.
I'm adopted too. I'm adopted.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I created all of the pre-generated characters that you guys chose using the really cool life path character creation system that this setting provides. And it created some connections. And so the answer is yes, Matthew. Even though Paula's character Lamaya is half human, half elf, she was adopted into your halfling family, and your halfling family, even you were adopted as well, because in this world, it's so hard to make it in this world, in the broken world, that parents are constantly dying, and new parents are adopting people, and people are getting into havens after fleeing their own haven. So some combination of those types of events made you guys adoptive siblings.
Okay.
Is there something your character would like to say to Paula's character now that you know that you're sisters? Go ahead.
Lamaya.
Yes.
There was a moment back there where
Eliara.
This is a flashback. It's happening before the current scene.
Right.
Go.
Okay. I should have acted more quickly to help you when you had been hit with that Titan laser. But I ran to my friend instead. I think the trauma of the moment has made me forget my sisterly bonds with you, and I'd like to offer something I can do to repair the damage I've done to our bond.
Oh, everything's chaos. It's fine. It's, everyone needed help. We all needed help. Honestly, I might be a little bit in love with Amel, so actually going to Amel and saving her, that's what I would want. Anyway, so you actually did the right thing. Don't tell her.
Do you want me to put in a good word for you
or
something?
No, don't tell her.
Well, I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but I don't think we have a lot of time left in this world. Your decay is quite startling, so no time like the present. Gather ye rosebuds.
Is it really noticeable?
No, it looks great. You look great.
And scene.
I'm glad we cleared that up. Thank you so much.
And I'm glad, that was a perfect role-playing opportunity, but now I'm going to bring us back to where we left off. After investigating Lantern Deep, seeing what devastation had been wrought there, and then going to investigate the Titan itself and gleaning a few clues from the Titan, including a sun emblem that reminded a character who knew something of forgotten lore about a temple somewhere out in this region that had a similar sun iconography, and also getting some ideas as to the Titan's path. It looks like it's heading toward a narrow ravine before it eventually arrives at Guardian's Lament. Those were 2 clues that you had from investigating the Titan, even though, as mentioned earlier, like sunbeams came off the Titan and nearly burned Amel and Lamaya, Kate and Paula's character in 2. You then decided to follow the advice of, I believe it was Newborn Gelrith, or Newblood Gelrith, excuse me, who told you to go and see the Speak Thieves, which are these entities that dwell out here in the Broken Lands who know a lot about the old world before it was broken. So you arrived at their nest because indeed these things are avian in nature, and you found an enormous nest of colossal thorns where each thorn is the size of a tree. And there in a little gully beneath the thorns, you found all of these strange kind of like pieces of detritus that you have just realized are organs. They look like they're organic material from beasts or people. And then the Speak Thieves suddenly appeared. They're large, but they look like blue jays. One of them is missing both eyes. There are bloody sockets where eyes should be. The other has blood dripping from its beak. They flapped down toward you after speaking some strange riddles in rhyme, and right now they are flapping down toward you, coming down off of those thorns to where you all stand in that dirty little gully. What would you like to do?
Weren't we gonna maybe offer some godskin?
Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted organs, right? They asked for organs.
But skin is an organ.
organs.
Yeah.
Do we have
that
any
makes sense.
that is not being used currently as like cloaks to protect us, or will someone need to sacrifice a bit of their own protection in order to make this offering?
It's a great question. So what you're all referring to is that earlier Hercule and our friend Lamaya were able to skin the carcass of a dead god that you found while you were traveling the broken world. And from that you made like armor or like just like padded clothing out of god's skin.
Like parkas, like godskin parkas.
Yeah.
Godskin parkas. And Amel is saying maybe, Amel, the Herod character played by Kate, is saying maybe we try to trade that skin.
Right. And actually, could I add one thing? I remember that I did roll a natural 20 when I was cutting it off.
Yes.
So maybe I could make the argument as a player that I cut off extra.
I like your
In case you needed to fix any of our cloaks.
Right. Yeah,
100%.
Exactly.
I think that makes total sense. So you do in fact have extra godskin. Maybe you were thinking of maybe making a nice valise or an umbrella, maybe a lampshade. And
by the way, I learned this new player technique from watching Paula.
Right. The what can I get away with, Paula Deming
The
technique.
worst that can happen is the GM just says no, which is fine, honestly. It's fine. It don't hurt my feelings, but you miss all the shots you don't take, you know? I'm the Michael Jordan of TTRPGs. Not in skill, but in philosophy.
Wow. All the way to Jordan. Okay. I'm definitely going to use this Titan to kill you. All right.
Oh, no.
That is also one of the bad things that can happen with the strategy.
Yeah.
No, I want you guys to succeed, although there is scant amount of hope here. All right. The creatures land in front of you, and they consider you, the one that has eyes, like considers you with like a side eye, and they move, you know, in a bird-like fashion, jerking and chittering as they sort of slowly pad toward you. And the one with no eyes, once again, shouts out one of its riddles, or one of its strange rhyming couplets. Come to trade? Come to trade? Precious organs before you fade?
Aye, we've come to trade. We've brought something very valuable to you. What do you think of this? And I pull out a piece of godskin.
They kind of hop over to you, and now there's a smell coming off of them, but it's not like an animal smell. It's like they smell kind of like an attic that hasn't been opened in a long time.
Interesting.
Well, I kind of like that smell.
Yeah. Oh, then you are loving it. The one with no eyes kind of nips at it, but the one that has eyes kind of stands back staring at it. Finally, they kind of like nuzzle each other for a second, like pecking their beaks into each other's necks. And then one with no eyes turns and says, we don't want skin, eyes and tongues.
Damn it.
Well,
let
you
me
should have
see if
been
there-
more specific.
Let's see if there was an eye or a tongue attached to one of these pieces.
God tongue.
Might there be?
Great. Well, you did roll a natural 20, but I'm afraid that I think we would have been very specific if you had plucked out a god eye or a god tongue.
Yeah, fair.
What do you offer in return for these organs?
We will answer your questions. Anything you ask. We
You
know everything.
Is that true? Is that true? Like, do I believe that? Or do I believe them to be
yeah.
more tricksters and...
Well, you watch them for a second and they go, ah, oh, ah. But the one with blood coming out of its beak doesn't make any sounds at all. And then they kind of like jump around like a bird, and then one of them kind of rummages through the dead guts on the ground, and that's what they do. Does that feel believable?
That only increases their authenticity in my
Do
eyes.
they feel credible now?
Is there any sense?
Credibility.
This might be the exact same question. Is there any sense that eye or tongue could be some kind of wordplay, or that they're very literal?
Oh.
Would you like to ask them, or would you like to try to
Could
puzzle
I?
that out?
Yeah. Could I see? Now I'm worried. Everything I do is like, did you really have that? Okay. So what if I've got probably some sort of shoe on, right? With perhaps like a tongue where it's laced up. Could I rip off that bit and
Paula,
say,
look at my face right now.
no, that's wordplay. A tongue.
Okay. All right. Are you actually doing this?
Yeah, I'll try it.
All right. You offer them the tongue of your boot, and they go, "Oh," and then they nuzzle each other for a second, and then they peck angrily at it, and make a dex save.
Oh gosh. That's a 10 plus. Where's my save? That's a 14.
Okay. You barely get your hand back in time before their razor-sharp beaks kind of shred it a bit.
I think they want real organs. I don't think this is a riddle.
eyes and tongues.
How is it that you know everything? But eyes and tongues are kind of precious to us, even though we are going to fade away eventually. But how can we be sure?
Ask your elders. Go back to your haven. Ask them.
We've got no time for
We
that.
remember. Others forget. We remember.
Look,
They kind of did say that.
the one of us who's closest to... I have the most decay. I am the most expendable. Maybe one of you could just cut one of my eyes out?
But you're...
We could give it
We're
to
not
them.
gonna do that.
Well, we have to offer them something. We don't have anything else. I don't want to give them my tongue.
I mean, not to get too dark here, but I'd rather go kill a stranger and give them one of his eyes than one of ours.
Your eyes smell nice. And they kind of hop up toward Hercule.
Get away from me, you avian beasts.
All right. Well,
Wait.
they're there is a chance that you could parley with them and maybe deceive them or trick them or persuade them into giving you a little taste of what they know.
All right, yeah. Eliar is going to offer them this. Like, we're not sure that the knowledge we seek is vast and perhaps unknowable. I don't know if these... she'll turn to you guys and be like, I don't know if these thieves would know the kind of knowledge we need. Maybe we should look elsewhere.
That's true. They're probably just full of bird poo. They don't know what they're talking about.
They speak in riddles to mask their lack of knowledge.
Like using big words to seem more intelligent than you are.
If only we had some token, some way for them to prove that they might have the kind of knowledge we need before we gave up.
Well role played. Can you give me some sort of skill, and I'll let you roll with advantage for how you framed all of that?
Uh-huh. Could I do insight, maybe? I don't know.
I would need probably a persuasion roll from somebody, or deception would be fine.
Well, they're all the same for me,
Intimidation? Yeah.
just to say I have no bonus. So
Performance, perhaps, in this scenario?
No performance, Paula. Quit trying to use performance to do things.
It could work. We're performing a ruse right now to trick them. It's fine. I don't have any ability in that, so.
Paula.
It's all the same for me.
Paula, no. No, Paula.
I'll do persuasion. Sounds good.
Okay, great. And roll with advantage, as I mentioned.
Okay, great. Natty 5 and a natural 17.
Nice.
Or a 17.
For a 17.
You think we don't know? Oh, we know all. Oh, we remember. A holy blade, a cursed blade, a blade that caused him pain. A holy blade, a cursed blade, a blade to end his reign.
Who is he?
And what is maybe amazing is that you guys never actually asked them a question.
Oh yeah, they just gave us another riddle.
Okay, is there some sort of I'm gonna approach this from a Pathfinder perspective, but is there a knowledge history or something I can do to see if any of that rings a bell for Eliara?
Local lore?
Oh, well, there is local lore and forgotten lore.
Forgotten lore.
And this sounds like more of a forgotten lore roll. Would someone like to roll that?
I'm pretty good at forgotten lore. I would like
I am
to
also. I'll try too.
give that a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
Let's do this one.
14.
Give them old dice a whirl.
Ooh, natty
14.
17.
Ugh, way better than me, yeah.
Nice.
4. So it's 21.
Yeah,
21.
nice.
Amel, you are unsure exactly where it might be found, but it sounds like they're talking about some sort of magic sword, and the logic in your head dictates that it might be used to kill or stop the Titan in some way.
I mean, maybe the sword that they're talking about, they know about the Titan, that they've seen the Titan that we're trying to fight already or stop, and the sword can bring it down.
Could the sword be in the temple? Is it worth just leaving now and going to the temple and looking
Well, we
for
don't
a
know
cool
where
sword?
it is. We were going to ask.
No leave, eyes. A tongue for sonnet.
Is there an eyeball on the ground nearby that I can deceptively scoop up and be like, oh, here's an eye. It's brand new.
So everything on the ground is shriveled and brown and sort of
such a good idea,
wasted
though.
and popped and,
Ew.
and deflated.
Just
Eliara will step forward, and she's going to say, if what you speak is true, we will bring you the eye of a Titan in exchange for the location of this blade.
Bring it and we will tell you where the blade is. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Perhaps I need my eyes. I think we all need our eyes if we are to have any chance of succeeding, but perhaps I can leave
You
a bit
only
of...
need one. Tweet, 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 tweet.
I think it's worth it. I'm going to remove mine. And I will... Oh, I don't have anything good. Someone with the...
Say when I
Will you allow me to have a spoon on my... to get all Shakespearean, not to get Shakespearean about it, but can we have a spoon on in our person?
Well, a lot of you have knives, but if you'd really like to pluck poor Lamaya's eye out with a spoon, you should know that her maker kit has a spoon-like implement in it. You also all have smith's tools and artificer's tools and all kinds of tool sets that you've been carrying around with you.
So I will open up one of my tool sets and find the item that is just right for this sort of thing. Maybe one that I typically use to help me grab berries off of bushes. And I say, I don't think I can do it myself. Sister, will you do this for me?
You want me to pluck one of your beautiful eyes?
I want to go on record to say that I protest. I disagree with this.
What else do we do? I think we have to give them something, and it's worth it if it saves our haven and our people and defeats the Titan, and I just don't know what else to do, so I think we just get it over with.
There's got to be another way.
We don't have time to speak to the elders, and who knows what has already happened to the haven, Hercule. You're right.
You actually don't have time, it's true, because... the Titan will reach the haven in just under 4 weeks, and you have spent 16 days journeying right now. We are keeping track of it. When we get to week 3, more damage will be done to the haven, crisis damage, which we are tracking in population lost, and more decay will taint the haven with each passing week. So you really don't have time. Good point, Eliara. Are you ready to pluck an eye out of Lamaya, or are you guys going to go with the clues that you have?
I'm going to do, if Lamaya is willing, I will do it for her, but I'm not going to force her. I'm not going to force her to give up her eye.
It's just going to be filled by crystal and geode soon anyway. So
that would be really cool if you had a crystal eye.
Yeah, that would be pretty hard.
Pluck it out. Pluck out my eye. Do it right now. Take it.
All right. All right. I give her the spoon to bite down on.
And look at this.
Whatever passes for liquor. And what do you want? What should I roll?
You don't have to roll anything. I want. I'll let you roll something. Give me a wisdom save to kind of steel yourself to do this.
Okay.
I can't look. I turn away. I walk away.
Whoa, Jason really left.
Really can't look.
Really rejects this roleplay.
Yeah. Okay, right. Go ahead. Let's see it.
Okay, here we go. Wisdom save. 18.
That is enough. And so you plunge the blade into your adoptive sister's eye. Blood sprays out of the socket. You take 2d6 damage.
Ooh, that's huge. This could kill me?
Oh, God.
Are you down?
I just want to say...
would be really pissed.
I just want to say that I feel like if you did, pluck someone's eye out of their head, yeah, maybe that could kill them.
You can bleed out. Yeah. Bleed out from it.
6
it won't,
damage.
But... Okay, good. All right. Could be worse.
I hand you your own eye.
Thank you.
I don't think it's that simple, Eliara. I mean, I think that you have to let your sister kind of go into shock or immediately be tended by someone with medicine skill. We'll go ahead and assume that Hercule, who is someone who is trained in medicine, is helping poor Lamaya, who from now on, for the rest of this one shot, will no longer have one of her eyes. And you, Eliara, may offer the eye to the speak thief.
Okay. Hands covered in blood. this little halfling will set the knife down. Looking at the horror that is like the blood pouring down her adopted sister's face.
I'm taking that extra piece of god skin to like fashion myself a bandage and a
Fuck yeah.
That's pretty
because
metal.
I'm like, it's god skin, maybe, I don't know,
God skin eye patch, dude.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Approach the Speak Thieves with her bloody eye with the ocular nerve kind of trailing off of it in my hand, and I'll offer it to them.
And the one with eyes plucks it out of your hand and then helps to sort of insert it into the socket, one of the sockets of the other bird. And then that one finally turns and looks at you with its new eye.
Gross, Jared.
And one of the most horrible things about it is that you can see it's very clearly the eye of Lamaya. It's got, it's her eye. And then finally it says, yes! You wish to know more about the Titan? Yes?
Yes.
And where the Sun Temple is, and maybe the sword.
Where's the sword? How can we stop
He
it?
slumbers when the shadows drown his face. He slumbers when the sun has lost its grace.
Who is he?
How can we like guide it somewhere or push it over, or the sword you mentioned, or the Sun Temple?
I need another eye.
Oh, you serious?
Are you kidding
What?
me?
I walk back right now, and you're asking for another eye? What happened?
That was a good eye.
All right, fine.
No.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm
Walk
kidding.
away again.
You were given an answer. It does appear to be in the form of a riddle, but I'll just read it again.
Yeah.
This is what your eye earned you. He slumbers when the shadows drown his face. He slumbers when the sun has lost its grace.
I feel like this is something we could have found out if we just observed it for a whole day.
Interesting. That's an interesting observation.
So I don't feel like it's a secret, and I don't think that they gave us an equal trade.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't like these guys. Maybe you just straight up try to kill them right now.
I think I'm gonna try to kill them. I feel like, Ma will be pissed. Like, her friend just said something really cool and metal, but these birds just told us something that we could freely observe if we just, instead of coming here, watch the Titan.
One might argue, if I may meta for a moment, that anything these birds could tell you might have been discernible through another route or means. But you chose to come to the Speak Thieves. They gave you their terms, and your friend Lamaya agreed to them. In fact, actually, why am I saying this? We gave you our terms.
Well, your terms suck.
You agreed.
Let's go.
This
Lamaya,
world is full of
let-
decay. Agreements mean nothing. She's gonna either try to intimidate them to get more information, or she's going to like take her great spear out and try to kill one of them.
Okay, you want to intimidate them?
Yes.
Give me a strength intimidation roll.
Let's see. Well, that's a natural 10. I have a 3 of intimidation though, so 13.
13.
Oh, scary lady.
And then they just fly up very high.
Damn it.
They're flapping away up onto a thorn that is, 30 feet above you.
Then I put away my spear and I take out my hand crossbow.
Just start shooting.
Well, we
Yeah,
can if you'd like to.
Is anyone going to?
Yeah, LAR will be like, well, hold your fire. We've lost too much already, and they could tear us apart before we're even able to face the Titan. What
I'm
did they
sorry.
say? He slumbers,
The one with Lamaya's eye looks down and says,
I can see you're angry.
Let's just go. Let's just go.
You're welcome.
He slumbers when the shadows drown his face. When the shadows drown his face, he slumbers when the sun has lost its grace. So is that, I mean, it could just mean something like it sleeps at night, which means it's weak and vulnerable at night. Or when the sun has lost its grace, also maybe some sort of eclipse situation could also come into play there.
And this could reference something as well in the Sun Temple. And I really think like maybe this magical sword is in the Sun Temple. We don't know where the Sun Temple is. That's the only thing. But it was nearby where we were.
To be very clear, the location of the Sun Temple, when you got the clue that there was a Sun Temple, you kind of know roughly where it is. So
we just need to
a
look.
Skill roll or two will find it for you. Yeah.
Before we leave, though, I pull out my warhammer and I hold it aloft, looking at the Speak Thieves, and I go, I won't forget this.
Oh, we forget nothing.
I'd like to tend to Lamina's bloody socket now and make sure that it doesn't bleed out.
We knew you would. Go ahead and make a medicine roll.
19.
A 19. That's good enough to not have to waste any days treating Lamaya. You can start moving right away. And we can go ahead and also assume that you are able, when you start moving, to take a rest at some point and heal that damage, Lamaya.
Perfect. Yeah.
Are we going to head out and try to find this Sun Temple, or are we going to try something else?
I think that's I think I like that idea.
Yeah, I
something
think so
else
too.
is fine too. If there's something else you want to do.
The Sun Temple it is. Let's make sure that you didn't give up an eye in vain.
Okay.
I'm sorry for weakening myself.
No, it was.
Hopefully, we can make this information useful.
It was so brave.
Well, you too for cutting it out for me.
And when you say it again, Eliara throws up in her mouth a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. But look, I have this cool Godskin eye patch now, so it's totally fine.
Are we giving these episode titles? Can we call it Godskin eye patch?
Yeah.
Yep. That would also be a great album title, or maybe a song title for Jason, maybe.
Yeah, next album. All right, I'm writing it down.
Write it down. All right. So we're going to go on a journey again. And you know the kind of general area that the Sun Temple is in, so you can start heading in that direction. And it will take you about 2 days to get there. All right. We know that Amel is the leader and can use persuasion, insight, or performance when it comes to make her role for the journey. And that also, once per party member per journey, she can use her reaction to let a party member re-roll. We know that Eliara is the outrider who can use survival, natural lore, or seeker's tools. And Eliara can roll on the encounter table with me and choose the one that sounds better. Our maker, Lamaya, is the quartermaster who can use athletics, smith's tools, or cook's tools. And you have supply dice that you can roll to add to a test. And then our sentry is Hercule, who has perception, stealth, and actor's tools. I never mentioned the actor's tools before because you're not carrying them. But, and I'm not sure how they're used, but that's something you can use as a sentry.
Actor's tools?
That's right, actor's tools.
Sounds like performance checks could. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go of it.
Never let go. Our friend Hercule has 2d6 focus dice that can be rolled to add to an ally's saving throw. So, you begin to head out on these 2 days to where you think the Sun Temple might be, and let us roll.
I also
I
also have a lineage trait called Volanter's Call, and I can have advantage on wisdom survival tests to navigate. Would that help here by like lessening the days, maybe?
You know what? I don't know if that's strictly how it's laid out in the book, but I don't see why it wouldn't help. You know, I'll tell you what. When it's time to make the roll, which is right now, why don't you make a wisdom survival test with advantage? Because if your character can do all those leader things,
right?
She should also be able to do her lineage thing, right?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so here's our test. Each of you can make a roll, one of those rolls that I mentioned, and we're gonna see if half or more fail or if most of you succeed, and that will determine something.
Cool.
Okay. Well,
Jeez, I'm rolling like freaking crap.
and then I'm rolling to pump you guys up. Natural 14, sweet.
That's what I rolled.
Hey.
For 16.
So what skill did you roll, Eliara?
I rolled survival. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, well, yeah, it's the same. I was going to say, I also could roll animal handling for something in here, but I'll do survival here.
Okay, so you rolled your wisdom survival to kind of try to lay out the path, and then our friend Amel, you rolled wisdom survival with advantage, is that right? To kind of be like a human compass?
Yeah, that I got a natural 9. So it's an 8
With
adjusted.
advantage, you got a natural
With-
9?
Yes.
That was your best roll.
Yeah, I also rolled a 5.
All right.
Yeah, but I rolled
Understood.
a 14 for my regular, like, boosting you guys. Like, hey, good job with whatever you're doing.
Well, the boosting and the wisdom survival are the same roll here.
Oh.
Okay, I
Well,
wanted
never
you to make
mind then.
one or the other. So, which one would you like to keep? I'll be the nicest GM in the world and say, you needed to make one or the other. Which one did you make?
I did say I wanted. I rolled the fun thing first, that new navigation thing first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with that, even though it's worst.
Okay, you're sticking with the fail. Interesting. All right. All right. So we have one fail. We have one success. Lamaya, how did the maker do?
Not great. She has to kind of get used to like using her smith's tools with a little bit less depth perception. So that was just an 8.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I have 2 D8s I can add to rolls.
That's right. You do.
Should I spend one now? I feel like I should to give us a success.
I could
Sounds like a
also
good idea.
use my reroll, my free reroll too. If we already have
Yeah.
2 fails.
I'm gonna do my one of my 2 D8s. I'm just gonna go on and spend on myself to try and give me a little extra. Oh, fuck yeah! I rolled an 8 on the D8, so
All
that
right.
means 16, which is hopefully a success now.
That is a success. And Hercule, how did you do? What did you roll?
Survival, and I got a 7.
Oh, no.
My friend Hercule, I'm afraid that your list of skills that you can use is perception or stealth or actor's tools. So survival won't work. The sentry must roll perception, stealth, or actor's tools. So would you roll one of those and tell me how you do?
My perception bonus is the same, so sorry, it would also be a 7, unfortunately.
A 7 altogether.
Yeah.
So I've got a fail from Hercule, I've got a fail from Amel, and I've got a success from our friend Lamaya and our friend Eliara. Would the leader, Amel, like to allow people to do a reroll?
Yeah, Amel would like to allow herself to do a reroll at least, and Hercule, if you want to also.
Thank you very much.
All right, here we go. The leader
Let's
is
go.
inspiring you to reroll.
Nope, worse.
Oh no.
Oh,
Wasted.
Mine's slightly better. I got an 11 this time.
Okay. Still, half of the party has failed, and so
Look.
now it is time. No, there will be no more.
I can't
What?
give my
We're
other D8. Can I give my
traumatized.
other D8 to
Could
one
I
of them or no?
don't I have the two D6s, or is that for something else?
Those are for saves, but it is true that our maker can give you a D8. Would you like
should
to roll a
probably
D8 and
try
add
and-
it?
I would.
Yeah,
I really don't wanna fail
I'll
right
go on and
now.
spin the other D8, and I will have Hercule.
Does she
Roll
roll
it,
it, or
maybe
do I
that'll-
roll it?
Why don't you roll it?
I got an 8!
There it is.
Hey!
So now we
okay,
have 3
that should help.
successes and 1 fail. 3 successes and 1 fail. Is there any other way that we can turn Amel's roll into a success? I don't think there are any
can't.
left. Yeah.
No.
All right. So, on your way to the Sun Temple, there will be an encounter. Could you please roll with me, my friend Eliara? Roll
Yes,
a
I will do.
d20.
Pick us the good encounter.
1, natural 1.
Guess what? I also rolled a natural 1.
What does
And I
that
think
mean?
you're-
So we
I don't-
skip the encounter.
I don't think you're going to hate this one. It's called A Place to Rest.
Oh, done.
The party
Deal.
encounters a sheltered cave.
Ooh.
You may take a long rest, and there are no extra encounters added to the journey.
Wow.
yeah.
We've been
Um,
fortunate, I think, with these encounters.
yeah, you guys have been really fortunate. There are a lot of good encounters on the journey as
That's
well as
cool.
bad ones. But I just want you to know, I'm looking at some that are like, obstruction,
nasty.
hostile territory,
Oh.
unexpected company, wandering titan. So there are bad ones.
Yeah,
all
we don't
right.
want it.
I just want the people watching to know what kind of nasty encounters you can get.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, I think that we need to make the end of journey roll to see how we do in terms of exhaustion. So could everybody give me a Constitution saving throw?
Let's see.
Just for flavor's sake, well, actually, it would be mechanical if this were a longer campaign, I suppose. But I want, during our long rest, LER is going to place a waymarker in that sheltered rest area in case we or anyone else needs to find it at a later date. And I will, I will carve the symbol of our haven into it if that haven survives the next
Great.
4 weeks.
Yes, if it survives, right? So that's great. And there is more a mechanical effect over time when you place waymarkers as the seeker. And one of the things it does is it lowers the decay in an area. So, if it comes up again, if this cave comes up again, maybe on your journey back, you guys could even be like, hey, can we go back to that cave? Something like that. I would
totally.
allow it. Okay, great. So how did everybody's Constitution saving throw go?
I got a 13.
17
13.
for LER.
Amel got a 15.
No.
5.
No.
I got a 5.
Okay,
Don't
so
worry, my
Some
decay
exhaustion.
was only 2.
well, you're not getting
this for the
decay
decay?
from this.
Oh.
You are getting if you failed it, you're at
failed
+1 exhaustion.
Oh.
Okay. And if we had a point of exhaustion from before, that got cleared with our long rest that we took after the Speak Thieves, right?
Yes. There
Okay,
are.
great.
You should not have any current exhaustion, except for these exhaustion that you're about to take right now.
Yup.
And if we remember what exhaustion, how it exactly works,
I know it's
let's
rolling
see here.
disadvantage on some things, right? Is it
does
every
give
check?
you a disadvantage on some things. I believe right now you have disadvantage on all tests until that exhaustion is cleared.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I'm gonna double check that while I ask you to please discuss how you are finding the Sun Temple now that you are in its general vicinity. What skill would you use to do that?
Oh, geez.
I mean, is it something I could roll survival on, or would this be more of a forgotten lore?
Feels like
Feels more
situation.
like forgotten lore than survival to me.
All right, then
Well, if
I'm
that's
out.
the case.
But
Amel,
also, once
yeah.
we get close, I can use my spyglass.
yes.
Still
True.
Ooh, the
general-
spyglass will give you an advantage on the roll.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm sorry. Those of you who are exhausted, Hercule and Lamaya, you
And-
have
yeah.
disadvantage on ability checks until you're able to take a long
yeah,
rest.
till we rest. Rough.
Would you like to spend another day and rest?
I think we should see what we can try and do even in our exhaustion, honestly, and wait. And if it's really bad, we long rest. But I feel the pressure, the time pressure.
Yeah, you're
myself.
giving us the Speak Thieves face, which makes me
Yeah.
think we shouldn't rest.
Go ahead.
We're still here.
Go ahead. Remove your
They're gonna chew our
eye.
eyes while we're sleeping.
Amel goes up to Hercule, and she's like, "Hey, can I borrow your little eyeglass thing? Maybe I can see if I know where it is."
There you go.
Yeah.
'Cause she's got +4 in Forgotten Lore.
Use it well.
All right, 2 rolls. Let's see.
Let's go.
All right, natural 9 on 1, so that's 13 is my highest.
13. I'm afraid it's not quite high enough. So I'm going to rule that you find it, but it takes you an entire extra day.
It's an entire extra day to figure out where it is.
That's correct.
Oh, all right. Well, you guys get to rest again.
That's right. That would come with a long rest, I guess, at some point.
We find it and then we go, okay, we sleep before we actually dig into this thing.
Well, maybe that's wise, because as you finally come up over the ridge into the valley where this location exists, you see a place that was once beautiful, but is now a shattered ruin. The building looks like it froze in time amid an explosion. Marble and glass spiral through the air, defying gravity. The entire structure is riddled and wrapped in plant life that has grown over the stones here, between the cobbles, up through the windows, and there is impossibly bright light emanating off of all of it. It's kind of hard to look at. You have to squint, like looking at the sun.
Does it seem like the same kind of danger would come off of that light as we got when the sun glinted off of the Titan?
I don't know. Would you like to get closer and see?
No, I want to be careful.
Maybe you could roll something to determine whether it poses the same sort of trap that the Titan
perhaps
does.
A natural lore?
Great, go for it.
And would we say this is before or after our long rest at the end of this?
It's definitely after. It's after.
Okay, cool. I will just roll one die then. I'm straight roll. 17 total.
Yes, this does not send out razor light to cut you. It's just infused with radiant light, which does make it seem connected to the Titan in some way.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think this will hurt us the way that the light glinting off of the Titan hurt us, but it does seem connected, doesn't it? It's hard to look at.
There are broad, glowing white steps leading up into a central structure. You may approach if you'd like, or you could stand back and look at it a little longer.
I mean, it is awesome. The idea of like it being frozen in time at the moment of its explosion. I mean, I love it. I love it. I would like to approach too, but I will take care to avoid the fragments of shattered glass and other, explosive material.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Same.
So as you get closer, you find the light to be really kind of overpowering, and you sort of have to lower your gaze or close your eyes a lot. And as you walk up the steps, Eliara, things that you originally thought were maybe plant life or vegetation, it turns out on these broad steps, there are hundreds of desiccated corpses.
Oh, no.
It looks like almost like the entire population of a city was killed in some way at this temple.
Do we know if there was some sort of, I mean, I guess we would assume, but do we know anything about the city that was surrounding this temple?
The memory of the broken world has been lost long ago. All you know is that you remembered, or perhaps Amel remembered, hints of a temple of some sort out here in the desert. You get closer and you realize the temperature is very high, and you can even feel the heat on the steps through your boots. And then you hear soft, eerie singing sounds coming from the temple.
Ooh.
Do we recognize the song?
Ooh.
No, you don't. And then it gets softer sometimes.
It's so creepy.
I have a vision that it came from me from another universe, but I feel like somewhere in some other universe there will be something called movies, and there will be a movie called Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and they will be singing a song similar to this, and they will be worshiping the nuclear bomb.
Oh, it's left me. It's left me. It's gone now.
Does
we
anyone
should be
else?
so lucky to be compared to that incredible work of cinematic history. What were you going to say, Kate?
Does anyone else have a medicine knowledge? I think Hergel has a fever from how hot it is. He's talking
That's
nonsense.
probably it. It's a fever dream. I'm
What's
sorry.
an ape?
Is this some forgotten?
The walls between the worlds are even weakened by all the decay here. Oh, by the way, there is a lot of decay. Everybody make a decay savings throw.
Oh, boy.
I
I might die, y'all.
There it is. All right.
Hey, that's actually a good roll. I got a 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
19.
Okay.
Yes. 17 total.
Ooh.
11.
11. Hercule. Oh, no. Your decay goes up by 1 as you feel the fire within you.
This makes so
Stoked.
much sense.
Right? That fever from the fire is what made me think of the alternate universe where movies exist.
Yes.
It's decaying you.
And like your curse is the curse of fire, right? As a dwarf.
That's right, it is.
So cool.
As you watch,
So hot,
you
actually.
suddenly
Yeah.
see a figure move up inside the temple. They appear to be wearing a white robe, and they slowly drift by the open portal that leads into the temple.
Do they notice us?
They do not appear to notice you. They do not acknowledge you, and they are soon gone, having passed the door.
Ooh. Should we go inside?
Maybe we can enter as if we're also wannabe worshippers of this temple, and they'll be cool.
Yeah.
Worth a
Yes,
shot.
let's try. So we'll enter with the respect of a worshiper here,
We
Jared.
walk with reverence.
Yes.
You walk with, well, I mean, there is a way to walk with reverence, isn't there?
Yeah.
Quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, carefully. And so you enter sort of an opening chamber, an entry chamber that has a great mural covering the wall and the ceiling. It actually looks to have once been a beautiful mosaic, but many of its pieces are missing. It looks like it depicts gold armored knights and white robed priests. And just as you look at that, you see another one of those white robed figures pass you. It does not acknowledge you. It simply drifts by you. This white robed figure, the hem of its white robe has been scorched. And actually there's still a little flame coming off of it.
Ooh.
And it gets close enough to Amel for her to hear it whispering, "Light preserve us, light save us, light hold us, light keep us, light preserve us, light save us, light hold us, light keep us."
Let's say that
it-
as we walk in, and we'll look like worshippers, I whisper.
Good idea, yes. Are they incorporeal?
I don't know. Do you want to touch one and find out?
I don't want to touch one. Does it look slightly translucent? Do you want to touch it? What is this, Call of Cthulhu? Ooh, you want to touch the creepy thing? Go ahead. Go ahead, touch
Would
it.
you like to
No,
get-
it's cursed.
Would you like to get closer and investigate one of them? They now you can see that there are a couple moving about in here.
Yes, but I want to do it with reverence still, and I don't want to get too up all in their business, but I want to see how close I can get and like observe and see like, are they spirits? Are they really here? And I will murmur as I go just to feel kind of like maybe I belong there, like light preserve us, light protect us, light preserve us, light protect us.
You get close to one of them.
Yeah.
It appears to be like going through motions, like it is doing some sort of work, but there is no table in front of it, and it is holding no tools. When it moves, it doesn't quite walk so much as drift. And as you get close, and it turns around, and its hood pulls back, and you see. We'll take a break right here.
Oh, Jared!
A pause for the cause. And we're going to come back to our Sun Temple. This is our playthrough of Broken Weave on the Glass Cannon Network.
So watch out, the
purple worm is coming for you. Watch out, Dracolich is coming for you. Watch out, everything is coming for you.
And we're back in the broken world, specifically in a nameless temple of the sun, where our heroes are trying to investigate, perhaps finding some sort of magical weapon that could fell the Titan.
I hope
But
so.
right at this particular moment, Lamaya, the half-elven maker, has approached one of the mysterious white-robed priests, who turns, and you can see as the hood of the robe pulls back that the face of this entity is horribly charred. It's like a cooked face. Parts of skin are peeling off. It's red and black, and the heat from it is enormous, and you have to jump back or you're going to be burned. Give me a dexterity save.
What?
14.
That's good enough. You jump back, but you feel that yourself almost get burned as it totally doesn't acknowledge you. It was simply turning around to kind of walk down across the hall and then deeper into a room beyond this sort of antic chamber.
I don't think they can see us, but don't get close to them.
Do we get the sense that these might be like guardians? Like if we were to find this sword and try to take it?
Ooh.
What an interesting question. Would you like to make a forgotten lore roll?
Okay.
Would you like to pluck out another eye for the DM?
Since is this sword a pre-breaking artifact by chance?
It is.
Because
it probably is.
I have a talent called Adept, Artifact Adept, and I get advantage on Forgotten Lore tests to identify the purpose and workings of pre-breaking artifacts. And I don't know if this test is related to that or...
Well, you haven't found any sort of sword yet, so that test would have to wait until you do. But for now, if you'd like to determine if these things are dangerous anyway, give me a Forgotten Lore test.
Forgotten Lore. I don't think I know. I rolled a 9 total.
You're not sure. They might be completely harmless. They seem harmless right now.
Yeah. All right, I guess let's try to figure out maybe where this sword might be in this temple and stay away from those things.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk deeper into the temple, up on the ceiling there's yet another mural, and it shows a knight holding up a sword to 3 circles that are sort of nested in each other, and then above them the sun. And then a white line going through the 3 concentric circles to the sword.
That has to be what the Speak Thieves. That has to be the Holy Blade.
Maybe the blade got its power from the sun?
Maybe.
It's conceivable.
Fused with the sun's light.
The Ashen priests drift close, saying, "Light preserve us, light save us, light keep us, light preserve us." But then they move on down the hall. What were you going to ask, Eliara?
I was just going to ask if I can do a perception perception to just look around to see if I can see a place where a reverential sword would be kept.
Don't bother rolling a check. You're in a hallway right now, but it seems to lead to a larger room.
Oh, great. Okay.
Would you like to approach the room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Please.
You find yourself in the heart of the temple. There is a scorched room of spiraling glass. And the glass seems to be broken off from much larger pieces that are they're disc-like. But many hundreds of shards have broken off from these large glass discs, and they float around the room as if suspended in lack of gravity. And they are all of these shards of glass are orbiting a colossal sword.
There it is.
The sword is in 3 pieces in the center of the room. Imagine an amphitheater like the Greeks had where people would perform down on the lowest level. That is where the sword is sitting, and that's where all this glass is sort of orbiting. And then when you look up to the sort of dome roof of the building, you see that there is a massive like opening in the roof and along one wall. It looks like the whole room was cracked like an egg.
Oh.
Around you are the Ashen priests who continue to whisper to themselves, and in here the singing is very, very pronounced. Okay.
Well, we will need to fix the sword. Should we wait here until the sun goes down and see if that means the priest people stop floating around? Is that a good idea? Or do we think that sun going down reference is just about the Titan?
I mean, I'm guessing it's about the Titan, but also they seem to be a little afraid. They want the light to protect them, so maybe they're a little nervous about when things get dark.
I guess, are we safer here while the light's up, or when there's no light?
Well, if I get any more decay, I'll be your light source. It won't
There
matter.
you go.
Well, should we try and... The sword, is it suspended in 3?
It is sort
Parts?
of, it's sort of on the floor, but yes, it is in 3 large parts. Each part is one is like 2 feet long, and the other 2 are like 5 feet long.
Wow.
So the
it's
sword is too
huge.
large for a human to wield.
And does it look like it came apart on purpose, or is it like jaggedly broken?
It is jaggedly broken.
Did you say, Amel, that you might know something about artifacts like this?
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot about some forgotten lore and pre-breaking artifacts. So she tries to like remember, I guess right now, if she's read anything about this and the workings of it, if it were broken or if it's whole.
Yeah.
And then can I use my little, my feature, my trait talent?
Oh, that's what it's there for.
Heck yeah. Okay, I get advantage on this forgotten lore test. Okay, come on. I rolled an 8 on both of them.
Oh!
And that's a
Okay.
+4, so that's a 12.
That's a 12. Okay. Well, this is much larger than any sword from pre-breaking should be. You know that it's not like a giant sword. It looks like some sort of weird mutation of the reality around here made it grow to colossal size. But you think it would be light enough to carry it somewhere if you needed to. And you think that it might be fixable as well. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
I'm also not convinced we need to wield it. I think if it isn't endowed with the powers we think it is, it might be enough to just kind of bring it near the Titan to ward it off and send it in another direction.
Or lure it into
Or
that
lure-
ravine. Maybe.
Place it somewhere, yes.
Jared, just from looking around, would it be possible for one of us to go up there and grab it, or do we need multiple people to kind of to wedge it out? And
You would all need to kind of grab it and drag it, help each other drag it, because the pieces are 2 of them are 5 feet long, 1 is 2 feet long.
All right, so I think we just grab and run.
Let's try
What do
and
you guys think?
take it. I think
I'm
so
not-
too.
Well, if we grab it in pieces, what if it needs to be in this temple to be put back together?
I could pull my smith's tools out here and try and fix it in this place.
With that drawing that we saw on the walls, the mural that we saw, there were the 3 discs, and did you say there were 3 broken discs in here?
I think so,
3
right?
large glass broken discs sort of suspended in the air and partially shattered.
Yeah, I feel like if we can fix everything in this room somehow, and then maybe
if
the
you think
sword
you can fix it, if you think you can use crafting skills to put it back together.
I will say that fixing the glass discs seems a bit quixotic. They are broken into millions of shards.
I think what we're looking at is the moment the weave was broken, right? And it's like this is a magical explosion suspended in time. So if we, but I'm curious to see what happens if we take something out of like the radius of the suspension. But I don't know. I think like, do you have some sort of magical ability to repair things, Kate, or is it
no
gonna
magic
be like,
is
straight
dead.
up crafting?
What I have as a Harrowed is that I can like absorb decay in weird ways, but I don't like wield magic.
I wonder if there is something you can do to like, because decay is what resulted from. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, and I don't.
As a Harrowed progresses, into like levels 2 and 3, a Harrowed does get powers that are kind of like magic, but they're really more like manipulating decay.
Got it.
Well, let me take out my smith's tools and see what I'm able to do. If I'm able to do some repairs while we're in the room, maybe if we can get it together and then we take it out of the room, I think it might be easier to transport.
Lamaya, it would take several days to reforge this thing, and you did not have a forge here, so all those rolls would be at disadvantage, but you could try, and it would take at least 3 days.
Yeah, so Lamaya goes over and she looks at it and she's like, oh, this might be beyond me. It's going to take so long. Maybe we do just pull out the separate pieces then.
Yeah, grab and go.
All right.
Do we need to split it up, or can we all just put it in my pack?
Well,
sticking
it's so
out the
big.
back. You could stick it out the back,
You
can do things like that. That makes sense.
Let's try. I'll pick up one of the 2-foot part of the 2-foot long kind of piece and
it is
bring
scalding
it over to...
hot, and it immediately burns your hands.
Of course it does.
To the tune of 7 damage.
Jeez Louise, this is so rough for me.
There's something.
You hear and smell Lamaya's flesh burn. God, she already lost an eye, and now this.
Lamaya.
Lamaya, be
careful. She drops the shard of sword to the floor, but other things are already happening, Eliara. The second that she does that, all of the Ashen priests in the room turn to face Lamaya and start to drift toward her down to the bottom of the chamber. There are 4 of them, 1 for each of you, and when they get within 30 feet, you suddenly see their eyes and their faces sort of swell and take in the surroundings, and they start singing toward you, and everybody needs to roll initiative.
Okay. Oh boy. I'm really I'm mucking things up, aren't I, everyone?
We need some godskin oven mitts.
Yeah, really. All right. I rolled 18.
18 for Lamaya is an excellent roll.
Yeah.
Natural 20 for a 21.
Yes.
For
21 for Eliara.
I got 14.
Lamaya 18. Amel 14. How did you do, Hercule?
9 for Hercule. I'm coming up the rear.
Hercule 9. Okay. You actually aren't coming up the most rear. These things are moving slowly. However, we're going to go to Eliara first with her 21. They are coming slowly toward you, but when you are within 30 feet of them, the horror of their faces and the sort of maddening sound of their song starts to make your sanity break. Please give me a wisdom saving throw, Eliara.
You got it. Natural 20.
Yeah.
Nicely done. You are not affected by this strange effect and may act as you will.
Okay, I'm just trying to think strategically here. So I still think we should grab and run. And I wonder
It's very hot.
I'm wondering, like, honestly, I do think maybe we can use some of the godskin
Yeah.
to, like, just kind of
protect our
use
hands.
as oven mitts. But maybe I can try to cover everyone else's retreat. Like just grab it and get it out of here. So I'm going to draw my longbow and fire off a shot at the first guardian that's coming towards us.
Understood. I'll allow it. Go ahead and make that attack.
Okay. It's my worst attack, but natural 3.
A natural 3. That is not going to hit its AC.
I didn't think so.
So your arrow goes by its head, and as your arrow flies by, the arrow catches fire and then clung, hits the ground on the other side of the temple center, and then the fire goes out. Poof.
Stay away from them. Stay away from them.
Eliara, would you like to move?
Well, I drew my longbow, so I feel like...
That's fair, thank you. All right, then that brings us to Lamaya.
Oh, you're looking at me like I'm insane.
I think you can move and draw your bow, but Jared says fair, so...
No, I'm trying to like cover your retreat, so I would kind of... I feel like I would stand my ground and start shooting.
You said they came to be within 30 feet of me?
That's right.
And from my getting close to them before, how close was it before? I only got burned when I touched it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. They're coming toward me.
Well, the first thing you need to do is make that wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a, where is it on my sheet? That's a 16?
A what?
A 16?
A 16 is a success.
It's a 16.
Yes, you sing back at them, unafraid of them, as they descend upon you. In fact, one is descending upon each of you, as if each one has sought out an opponent. And so, you may act freely. Lamaya, what would you like to do?
Great. On my belt is a hatchet. I'm going to, as I'm moving to close the distance to get into melee, I have a speed of 35, should be able to get there no problem. I pull the hatchet off of my belt, and when I get close enough, I'm going to swing at it with my hatchet.
Okay, great. Let's get that swing.
That's a 18.
An 18 is a hit.
Yeah. Okay, that does 1d6 plus 2 slashing. That would be 7 points of damage.
You slash into it. You rip open the robe and sparks go flying up into the air. You've taken out a chunk of it, but it is still floating there in front of you, scream singing at you. And that is your turn.
Yeah.
And then we turn to Amel.
All right, this is either going to be really smart or really not smart. But Amel takes out her water skin and she goes to douse it on the one engaging with her.
I love that idea.
What an interesting idea. Wow, that is really interesting. Okay.
Is it? Is it smart interesting?
Well, I think it still requires some sort of melee attack roll. So I won't base it on strength, though. I think you could base it on dexterity if you'd prefer. Make a dexterity check.
I would prefer to keep my regular attack bonus.
Okay, then you can use strength to kind of get in there close with it. Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, God. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh!
I don't know how I can fuck that up that bad, but I guess I did.
You get too close, and the edge of its robe sort of hits your wrist. And while it doesn't do any damage, it burns you for a moment, and your water skin falls to the ground and spills out onto the temple floor. That is your turn. We're now turning to Hercule.
All right, so the one that is wounded, how can I assess how wounded it is?
Not very. It's still moving the same way. It looks like there was like sort of a chunk taken out of the front of it where you can kind of see like embers sort of like glowing inside of it, but it's still intact.
Well, my best move is to just get right in there. So I run up to it and take a swing with my great hammer.
Please do that.
And I get a 21.
Yeah.
That is a A big hit. Do your damage.
All right. Oh, 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yes.
Hercule smashes this thing so that it kind of gets flung across the room and bashes into some of the stairs that lead down into the floor of the temple. And sparks go up from this thing as its song becomes such a high pitch that only dogs can hear it for a second. And its crumpled form is struggling to rise up off of the ground again. It is not gone yet. But good turn from Hercule. And what kind of a weapon are you wielding, Hercule? It had a kind of a cool description. I just want people to be able to visualize it.
Sure. So it's a great hammer. It's called the Deep Stone Great Hammer.
Oh, so it's made out of like stone.
Right. I don't know if I saw anything more than that, just it had an impressive name.
Yes, Deep Stone. Imagine that, everybody. Okay, good turn, Hercule. But now it's the turn of the things. And one of them approaches our friend Eliara, and it reaches out with its burning hands, and it attacks with its searing touch. Does an 18 hit you?
Oh, yes.
No.
You take 9 fire damage.
Oh my gosh, these
It
things are
grabs
ridiculous.
Eliara's arm, and Eliara's clothes light on fire. And the scalding grip of the thing burns you. Then the one that's hurt, it actually turns toward Hercule, and because Hercule's right in front of it, or actually not right in front of it, Hercule kind of flung it across the room. Actually, that one's gonna take a turn to just kind of get to where it's floating again. That one's out of the fight for a second.
Yeah, nice, Hercule.
But one does approach Amel right now. And an 8, does that hit you, Amel?
Heck no.
Okay, it swings, it tries to grab at Amel, but it misses. And then one approaches Lamaya and reaches out.
Roll low.
And it rolls a 20, modified 20.
Okay.
And you
It
take
does hit.
9 fire damage from its searing grip.
It hurts so bad, and if you look at Lamaya, you will see she looks very similar to how she looked right before she lost consciousness a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Lamaya is horribly burned, missing an eye. Oh, Lamaya's not looking great right now. All right, we're back to Eliara.
I have one hit.
Okay, there's one right in front of me now, so I'm going to drop my longbow and pull out my, grab my staff off my back and try to thwack it across the face.
Okay, great, go for it.
Okay, natural 17 for a 22.
Hit.
Wonderful. Okay. Minimum damage. 1 point of bludgeoning.
Oh.
Forgive me, this is the Pathfinder to D&D conversion, OSIS, but do I have, or ISIS, but can I move even though I drew my weapon already?
You may move. You may move.
Okay, I'm gonna move
In my
away from
game, you can move.
Thanks, Jared. I'm going to kind of back up towards the sword. So if I can kind of get close to the sword, make it move to me, and then also get closer in case I need to grab it and go. Grab a piece and go.
Great. All right, you are within grasping range of the sword. That is Eliara's turn. Lamaya.
Swaying on her feet. Oh god. So there's one right in front of her, but it's not the one that was right in front of her, right?
That's right.
Well, she's gonna go down swinging. She's gonna do everything she can to protect her friends and try and make this successful. So she's still got her hatchet in her hand, and she's just going to swing at the one that's now right in front of her.
Okay, great.
See what she can do.
Guys, let's grind this down with a close-up melee fight. I mean, you guys have like +1s and +2s your attacks, so let's do this.
I have a +4, thank you.
Oh,
I don't know what else to do, Jared. I don't know. Okay, so that's a 19.
There couldn't possibly be another option. How did you roll?
Well, I rolled a 19 total.
That's a hit.
Okay. So again, 1d6 + 2, so that's 6 damage. slashing damage. And as I'm near the sword, right? Because I tried to pick it up.
You are near the sword.
I am going to back away and try and step over the sword so that if they need to come at me, they have to cross the sword, wondering if that might do anything.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah, I hear you. The sword is now between you and your attackers. All right, Amel, it's your turn.
All right, well, her water skin is gone and empty, so she's going to take out her bone shard grape spear. I really want to say that, so I'm going to do it. Great spear.
Got a couple grapes on the end of it.
Great spear.
Yeah.
Just like a past hors d'oeuvre.
That's what my 3-year-old son would call it. It's a grape spear.
Great spear. And she's going to whack
the past hors d'oeuvre of the Sun Temple. It's like little grape spears they hand to you.
She's gonna whack at the one that's in front of her.
Okay, let's whack away. Swing away, Meryl.
Ooh, that's good. 15.
A 15 is a hit.
Nice.
Is that a Signs reference there, Jared?
That's right, baby.
Oh, I saw that movie.
Wait, what? That's even more shocking.
Let's see. Let's do this. Ooh, 8 points of damage. Piercing.
8 points of damage as your great spear puts a hole in the priest in front of you, and there's this gaping, burning hole in its chest, and it's still reaching for you.
Ew, and she's gonna back away with her move action to hopefully get out of range of it reaching, if she can.
That is a good idea to try to back away. It is now Herkel's turn.
Well, so the one that I knocked across the
It has now regained its upright status and is floating toward you again.
I'm going to try to send it into oblivion.
Send it to hell, Herkel.
Well, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, Herkel, no!
That's okay. When that happens, all that you do is drop your water. It's canon.
But in this case, drop your water means pee yourself.
That's what we say in the broken world, in the remnants of the broken world.
Right.
I got to drop a little water.
Well,
Just kidding. I would never say that about the doughty warrior Herkel. Herkel, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
I was going to say I wanted to cool down a bit, so I did that on purpose.
Ah, there you go. Exactly. Herkel.
But let's just say I did not do that, and we'll strike that from the record.
Yes, it is stricken. It is gone. It is not canon. And you miss. Obviously, you miss. Let's keep this fight going. It is their turn. One is going to move toward Eliara and attack again. It rolls a 20.
Oh my gosh.
That'll hit.
9 fire damage as it
down.
burns your neck and your thigh.
There's not much of Eliara right now that's not burned. I'm sitting at 3 hit points.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's not good. But let's keep this fight going, everybody. One approaches Lamaya and
Don't,
reaches
I have
out and attacks and rolls a natural 20.
Oh no! I'm unconscious.
Gripping Lamaya's throat, its burning hands melt her flesh and make her collapse to the ground where it floats over her. Smoke coming up from her melted neck. That's 18 damage, and you will now start making...
That's more than my hit point maximum.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I only have 17 as my max. Cool.
Well,
so
I'm gonna do
unconscious.
death saves. That's what I want to do. So
Yeah, perfect.
yeah. Okay. So you are down. Lamaya is down. Now one approaches.
And the sword, they were able to cross over the sword, no problem. They weren't scared of the sword.
Without
Okay.
any problem, compunction, delay, or slowdown, they floated over the sword, which is part of the artifacts that exist in a temple that they inhabit.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Now one is attacking Amel. And this one rolls an 11 altogether.
Miss.
Miss. Amel is a is a slippery sidewinder. They keep missing you, Amel. It sings softly to itself as it grasps at air, and then the one that Hercule just natural woned against, it tries to reach out and throttle him with its burning hands, and it rolls a 12 versus your AC, Hercule.
Which is 13, so it does not manage to throttle me.
Ooh,
Nice.
nicely done. All right, we're back to you. It is Eliara's turn.
Okay, Eliara is just gonna swing away with the with her staff and try to whack this one. Hopefully
Okay,
more
great.
damage than last time. That's gonna be a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
1d6. 3 points of damage.
All right, you are on the board with this monster.
You know what though? Can I, with my move action, can I drop this? I'm gonna drop the staff, and I'm gonna grab a shard of the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a pointy shard that I'll try to next turn I'll try to swing it at this creature, or at least
Okay.
kind of ward it off like a chair and a lion tamer.
Now the
Cover your
shards are you grabbing a shard that is 5 feet
Right.
long or a shard that is 2 feet long?
2 feet long, and I would like to use. I would like to, and if you can tell me if I have to wait till next turn to do this, but what I want to do is kind of scooch the sleeves of my godskin armor down over my palms to try to give me a little bit of protection.
This turn you can scoot your sleeves down. I was about to give you that 2d6 damage that our friend Lamaya got earlier, but you have been clever, and you may scoot your sleeves down and see if that godskin will protect you next turn, okay?
Great.
Lamaya, it's your turn to make a death save.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a 10. So I think that's enough for one save. Yes? 10 or
That's
better? Or does it need to be more than a 10?
Isn't it 11 or better? It's 11 or better.
Oh, it needs to be more than a 10, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a
okay, well,
fail.
that's a fail. I thought I had just done it.
Okay,
All right, I have one failure.
You slip closer to oblivion, and now it is Amel's turn.
I'm gonna whack at it again with my great spear.
Let's whack at the Ashen Priest. Go for
Whack.
it, Amel.
Whack at the priest. Oh, natural 20.
Yeah.
There you go.
Take it out.
I don't know what that means in
Big
this game.
damage.
It
But,
means double damage.
Oh, hell yeah. So I just double it, or do I roll twice?
You just double it.
Okay. 6 points total.
So 12 altogether.
Well, no, so it's all together. I
Oh,
rolled, I rolled,
six
I rolled a
altogether.
3 on my D10.
These guys are the
that's
most
okay.
level 1 you can be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well done.
we're pretty rough.
Okay, well done. Here's the good thing. The setting of Broken Weave is so dire. It is so forlorn. It is so sorrowful that if I kill the entire party now, it will really mesh thematically with what the game
think
is,
so.
can be,
I think
can be
so.
about. Okay. And remember also, everybody, that you have hope points that were given to you by your haven. Maybe if things are getting really, really bad, you might want to say, hey, what can I do with that? All right,
Ooh,
like if say
now
you
you
miss,
tell me.
if you miss an important attack or something. All right, so that was ML, and now it's Hercule's turn.
All right, well, I'm going to try to recover from the embarrassment of completely missing. And now I've resteadied myself and take another swing.
Okay, great, go for it.
Yes, all right, I got an 18.
That is a hit.
Yeah.
All right. Since I'm on the road, I bring my D20 with me, but I have to roll everything else digitally.
Right, no problem.
Yeah. I got an 8 total.
And you destroy the Ashen
Yes.
Priest in front of you. It's like there
Amazing.
was nothing inside the robe when you swing this time. You impact with something, and then ash and dust, like a chimney, kind of blow out of this thing, and it is gone. Hercule has defeated one of the
Nicely
Ashen
done.
Priests. Nicely done, Hercule. And now it is their turn. The one near Eliara attacks Eliara again.
Is there anything I can do with a hope point in this? Can I give you disadvantage or something? Would you allow me to use that in this moment?
Now I don't believe that you can give me disadvantage, but You know, what the hell? Let's look up hope and see all the things that it can do. Let's do that right now. I can find it. I can
Page
find it. Here it is.
129.
That's it. Thank you so much.
The reference to it was literally right in front of me, and I was like, oh,
You can use it
is.
to gain an automatic success. If you're critically injured, you can spend 1 hope to stabilize yourself. If you succeed in an attack, you can spend 1 hope to turn it into a critical hit. You can spend 1 hope to recover from any condition. You can spend 1 hope to make sure that your decay doesn't increase. You can spend hope to do a reroll. You can spend hope to take an extra action. And whenever a creature within 120 feet of you makes a saving throw, you can spend 1 hope to force them to make it with disadvantage. So while you couldn't affect their attack roll, Matthew, you could affect any saving throw that they made.
Got it. All right.
And just to be clear, your Haven has a hope of 12, and you haven't spent any of it.
Nice. Take an
Should I
extra
have
action.
reminded
There's some
you of
cool
that at
stuff.
the beginning of our session? No.
Who's to say?
I'm a tough GM, and I wanted you to remember on your own.
Well, thank you
Tough but
for
fair.
believing in us.
Tough but fair is what they say about me. All right. So, where were we? Eliara, were you getting attacked? Yes, you were.
Yes,
and
I
they roll a
was.
9 against you.
That misses.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Then Amel is attacked again by the one that is attacking her. And it rolls a natural 20.
Ugh, that unfortunately hits this time.
Yes, and it will be 18 damage. Unless you'd like to... Well, let's see. You can't
I don't think there's
make
anything.
it re-roll. No.
And there's no, like, reduced damage. I didn't hear that. So I don't think there's anything I can do.
No, you take 18 damage. Are you still up?
Yeah. Her maximum hit points. I think I might have the most hit points.
Things are getting desperate. All right. Its searing grip burns your skin down to the bone. And then we turn to the third and final Ashen Priest that is left, who is floating over the fallen Lamaya and now turns and floats toward Hercule and attacks and rolls an 18 versus your AC.
That hits.
That's a hit. 9 more damage.
All right.
And at the end of their turn, you notice other Ashen Priests gathering at the entryways to the chamber. It is Eliara's turn.
More? Okay. Is there any other way out of this room? Or is it?
There are
just a-
many ways out of the room. As mentioned before, it is cracked like an egg. There is an entire opening in the wall that goes up to the ceiling, and there are multiple doors that lead into this room in addition to the one that you came through.
Okay, great. All right. So Eliar will shout like, "We need to get out of here! We need to get out of here!" She'll continue with the action she began before. And so now with her sleeve-covered hands, she's going to grab one of the 2-foot shards of the sword and swing it at the guardian in front of her.
Okay, great. Make a melee attack roll.
Okay, great. Correct die. Okay, that is going to be a 15?
That is a hit.
Okay. What damage should I roll?
How much damage does a shard of the sword deal? You're swinging something that's not... It's a shard. It's not really meant to be a balanced weapon. And we don't know for sure that you're hitting with the bladed side of it. It's broken. So why don't we call that 1d6 bludgeoning damage?
Which is exactly what my staff does. Hopefully it will have some other mechanical effect. You know what, though? I'm going to spend a hope to make this a critical hit.
Ah, very good.
Ooh, nice. Yes.
So roll the damage and we'll double it.
Okay, 6 points of damage.
6 points altogether?
Altogether, that is doubled.
That is doubled. Okay. Great. You have now done 10 points of damage to the creature you've been fighting as the piece of blade smacks against it, sending out a puff of ash. The sword does not have a augmented effect against these things, it would appear.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. So that is Eliara, and then it is Maya's turn to try to make another death save.
I have a couple of things.
You can spend hope to stabilize.
Yes. First, I'm here looking at like critical injuries because the hope thing referenced to this page. So if you roll a 10 or higher, you gain 1 success on a death save. So my first one was 1 success. It's a 9 or lower is 1 failure. That's okay. And I just want to talk about, there's this really cool thing you can do that I will not be doing right now. It's called Last Stand.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because it's freaking awesome. It's
Paula,
Last Stand.
we're in the middle of a combat. You can't be like,
just listen
hey,
to what I
found a
could do.
paragraph about a rule we're not going to use.
Listen to this cool rule that I found.
What are you talking about? We're in the middle of a life or death fight.
What
You, in fact, your character is dying.
Will you let me say the thing?
We have a limited amount of time to play the entire game, and you're like,
if you
let me
say
show
it,
you an
done
additional.
by now, Jared.
Please, tell me about it. Please.
You can take a last stand, meaning you say, no, I am getting up, I'm not critically injured, I recover from everything, I gain advantage on everything, I deal double damage, I do my last thing, and then I die. And you are quoted as a hero, your people earn hope points. It's really freaking cool. And I just wanted to point it out, and I could have said it so much faster.
No, you said it completely very fast. That was very elegantly
I think it's
worded.
really freaking cool.
It is cool. I'm glad people know about cool stuff like that from this particular setting. Thank you for sharing it.
You're welcome.
Would you like to stabilize or make a death save?
I would like to spend 1 hope point to stabilize myself, which also, because I'm cheating death, I will recover 1d10 hit points.
Ooh, what is cheating death? Where does that come from?
Using hope. Cheat death. If you are critically injured, you can spend 1 hope to stabilize yourself and recover 1d10 hit points. You are no longer critically injured, but retain any failed death saves.
Perfect. Go for it.
So hopefully I get some good points. That's a 10. That's freaking amazing.
Look at that. She's back in the game, baby.
Cheat death, and I imagine that's my whole turn. So I don't know. Can I like? What do we do here, Jared? Like, do we just run away? Like, is there anything? Is this all like? I'm like, I guess.
Are you asking the game master what you can do?
Well, I'm just like, as I'm getting up, is there anything I notice that seems important to how we get out of this fight?
You feel like it's an impossible situation.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, I'm asking you, is that how you feel?
Yes, I do feel like this is, we can't beat them.
Well, it might be an impossible situation if you consider the situation to be, I face these enemies and hit them with my weapon over and over.
Yeah.
That might feel kind of impossible.
So what I'm wondering is, as I'm like coming in this moment of hope surging through me, and I'm getting up and I'm feeling myself reinvigorated, is there anything I notice around me that would give us a clue as to we need to say, like,
make an intelligence roll.
What is helpful in here?
Make an intelligence roll.
Oh. It's a 9.
Yeah, that's enough for me to tell you that you could do what Eliara is doing and grab up the shards and get out of the temple as fast as possible.
Yeah, okay.
Or
I just
you could continue to fight.
The right thing.
I mean,
no,
I don't think it's quite as impossible as you think. All right, that's me being very editorial. All right, that's your turn, and
I'm done. I am officially done.
That was my favorite Paula Deming turn I've ever had in a game. All right. Well done. And now, and well done actually using the mechanics of hope there. All right, now we turn to Amel.
Thank you for reminding us they were there.
Yeah.
It saved me.
So I see that Maya is up, and here Eliara say, like, we gotta get out of here. So she sheathes her great spear. As she runs over to one of the shards, tries to shimmy her sleeves down and picks up a shard to try to run off with it.
Okay, so we're putting away a weapon, we're shimmying sleeves, and we're picking up. I'm going to allow all that to happen. You pick up a piece of the sword, but it is 5 feet long. So in order to escape with it, that might require some strength-based rolling, right? It requires some heavy lifting, okay? But for right now, you have one in your arms, all right? That was Amel, and now we turn to Hercule.
All right, well, I see what's happening. And I see more people, more ashen priests coming, and I see everyone picking up the sword. So, is there another shard to be grabbed, or is...
There's one last shard, 5 feet long, yes.
I'll grab it. I need to make a strength check.
You don't need to make a strength check. Is there anything you'd like to do before you grab it?
I will take my godskin parka
Yes.
and pull up the sides so that I grasp it like this, and the parka is like covering my arms and hands.
You do that. And you have it in your arms, and you can feel the heat of it, but the skin of the god is protecting you from being burned by it. And that is the turn of our heroes, and they haven't been able to exit quite yet, everybody. And now the things, the ones that are left are upon them again. The one that's been attacking Eliara attacks again. And
I love that you allow metagaming. It's actually quite refreshing and fun. I know, for years and years and years and years and years, I've played no metagaming, but you're like, yeah, you can do it. But you know what? It gives a different vibe to it, and I love it. It's teamwork.
I like it too, yeah.
Because you know what? Why wouldn't, if Hercule was going to grab that sword, why wouldn't one of them been like, Hercule, use the godskin,
yourself. Yeah.
right? They would have done that.
I think metagaming is usually fine. I think it's usually fine if it's being used to play the game well or play it to success. If it's being used to kind of cheat, which sometimes it can be used that way, that's less fun. Anyway, 15 versus your AC, Eliara.
That hits me, and I will most assuredly go down. But
9 more damage.
I am down.
Oh no!
And a piece of the sword is dropped onto the floor of the temple. And now another one attacks Amel, the one that was attacking Amel. And rolls a 15 versus your AC, Amel.
Ugh, that hits.
9 damage.
I'm down 2.
Oh no!
Her piece of the sword falls to the ground. And now there's still one attacking Hercule. And it attacks, and it rolls an 18 versus your AC.
It's
9 more damage, Hercule.
I'm still up, but
So Hercule and Lamaya are up, and now we turn back to our heroes. Our survivors is what they're called, although that term may be inappropriate here.
Rude.
Eliara, you have the option of spending hope to revive
Have the
yourself.
points.
I'm gonna do what
Yes.
Lamaya did: cheat death, stabilize myself, recover 1d10 hit points.
Okay.
Is that a turn or is that an action? What is
I'm going to call that a whole turn,
Okay.
and I'm
so
going to
it's
let you
gotta be.
I'll let you get back up as well.
Okay, great. Okay, 4 hit points, and I stand. Actually,
Okay.
you know what? I'm not gonna get up. I'm gonna play dead.
Stay down, play dead. Interesting. What an interesting idea.
But maybe you see my hand creep around the shard. My godskin gloved
Right.
hand creep around the shard of the blade.
I will from this point on assume people are covering their hands before touching the blade. Okay.
Awesome. you.
Very good, Eliara. Lamaya,
Oh boy.
is there any rule in the rule book that you'd like to point out
No.
that's kind of
There
interesting?
isn't. There isn't, but thank you so much for asking. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lamaya is going to run over to Eliara. Is there one right in front of, excuse me, I'm so sorry, not Eliara, because you're already up, Amel. And there was one who just attacked Amel, right?
Hercule, Eliara, and Amel all had pieces of the sword.
Yeah.
Amel
And
and Eliara dropped theirs.
Right.
And there is a Ashen Priest attacking each of them.
Yeah. So the one, because I think Amel's going to need help holding that shard up because it's the bigger one. So I'm running over to help, hoping that she will get up, Amel, but not wanting to take a damage and be attacked in the turn that we need, in the time I know it's going to take for that to happen. I'm going to swing my axe once more at this Ash Priest in front of her and try and maybe I can do a great hit and take it out and buy us some time.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
You know what? Okay, wait. I got a thing. Okay, so that's a 15.
That is
my
a hit.
hatchet. Okay, 1d6 plus 2. That's 6 points, and then we've got 12 points of hope, and we've spent 2 points, right? 3 points.
That's right.
I'm gonna spend 1 hope to take an extra action. Because this is desperate, and I take my hatchet and I swing back through again.
Go for it.
So we've spent 4 of our 12 hope. Oh, fuck! It's a 2.
Yeah.
So,
Would you like to spend a
miss.
hope to get a reroll?
I mean, yes, I do. I'm desperate. 5
Let's go
hope.
for it.
Okay, that's more like it. 21.
That's a hit.
Okay. That's 7 more points of damage.
And guess what?
Is it done?
You destroyed it. It goes up in a gout of flame, and then pieces of its tattered robes kind of slowly float to the ground. It is gone.
Okay. Ugh. And I'm there in place to help hold the shard once, hopefully, Amel. Come back to us, Amel.
Maybe you guys are gonna kill these things. I mean, you just keep hacking away. It's possible that you're gonna defeat them. All right, that was our friend. Lamaya, and then it's Amel's turn. Amel, you're down.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a hope to cheat death and stabilize and get 1d10 hit points.
That sounds like a good idea.
So let's see, 1d10.
We are burning through hope in this combat.
Ooh, 10! Hell yeah!
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
6 hope left.
So as soon as you kill the one that brought me down, you see him all just go back to life on the ground.
I love it.
I have 5 hope spent, Paula, but you're probably right. I'll make it 6.
Is that our 6th? Because I spent.
It doesn't matter.
3.
We'll go. You still have plenty left. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice work. You are back up on your feet, Amel, with 10 hit points, and then we turn to Hercule.
Well, now that I see, what's Lamaya slaying another one. I mean, what? Give me the lay of the land again, because you said more were coming down the hall, but
you just kind of see them up like in the steps like that lead down to this sort of like lower level of the temple where you're all fighting, where the sword was lying. You kind of see them gathering up in the entryways to the room.
and how many are left in the room? 2?
There are
Or
just
1?
2. There are just 2 currently in melee with you.
Kind of look at everyone and go, what do you want me to do?
I'm gonna run.
I think we should run.
Grab a shard and run.
All right, I keep my shard, but what I do is, being the guardian that I am, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be the last one out.
Okay.
All right.
All right. You have your shard. You've got a strong stance here, and you're covering everybody's exit. The most obvious exit, everybody, and tell me if you'd like to try a different route, is the large cleft in the side of the building that leads back out to the outdoors. Is that where we're going to go when we go?
I think that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Just get out of here completely.
Did any of the shards from the sword we've got have the hilt attached? Like, do we just have like just pieces of steel?
No, it's all the pieces of a sword. So we'll say that our friend Amel has the hilt.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. That is Hercule's turn, and now it's the creatures again. There are 2 of them. One is going to attack Eliara again.
Well, I'm playing dead, and I didn't roll anything.
Oh, that's a good point. You played dead. It is going to stare at you and think about it, and it's going to make a roll, and it is just going to hover over you, slightly confused. And now the other one is going to attack. I don't know. Lamaya just took one out, so the other one that's left is going to fly over and attack her, and it is going to roll a 7 versus your AC.
Yeah, it misses.
All right, then we're back at the top of the order with Eliara.
Okay, Eliara from prone will grasp her hand around her god-skinned hand around the blade and will swing at the ankles of this creature standing over her.
Okay, great. Give me an attack roll.
Natural 15 for 20. I don't know if there's a penalty for
Hit.
being prone. Okay. I'm going to spend a hope. I'm sorry. I'm just going to spend
Do
like
it.
crazy here to make it a critical hit.
Okay, great. And then how much damage is that?
4.
Jeez.
With a critical hit, that's 4.
Yes.
All right.
Your dice rolls are so bad, man.
You know what, Paul?
You guys actually told Hercule you were grabbing pieces and running.
Yeah.
You're
But if I-
still
I
just chipping away
I thought you were going to use hope to
dangerous
get up.
monsters.
My thought was like this thing didn't believe that I was truly playing dead, so it's continued to stand over me. Like if I try to stand up and get away, it could just easily come after me and kill me.
Well,
So
you never know until you try. You never know
That's true.
until you try. All right, there we go. That was Eliara's turn, and then we turn to Lamaya.
I cover my hands. I help pick up the sword. I say, "Let's." That Amel has, and I say, "When you're ready, let's go." And I will hold my move. Can I hold my movement action?
No,
Can
no, no,
I wait so that when Amel's ready, we go together?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that if you'd like to work in tandem there. And that means it is Amel's turn.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys together don't need to make strength rolls because you're working in tandem and there's enough strength between the two of you to carry this 5-foot shard of sword. You run out of the temple.
Yeah, get out of here. Let's go.
Then it's Hercule's turn.
All right. Well, so they're out, and but what about
Eliara's on the
Eliara?
ground using her shard to kind of attack the Ashen Priest in front of her.
All right. Could I lay my shard down and swing my hammer in the same turn?
Yes, you may.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Going after
Take it
the
out.
one that Eliara's. All right. I got a 22.
Hit.
Yes.
My teacher, my mentor, has come to come to rescue me.
Hold on. Oops. Sorry. It's slow.
That's okay. Take your time.
I got a 7. 7 damage.
7 damage, okay. That's not a horrible roll, but the thing is not down. Would you like to spend a hope to turn it into a critical hit?
You know it.
Yeah.
There we go.
You do so. And by doing so, you destroy it.
Yes.
There we go.
Well spent. We need this hope. Who cares what happens after this? We need it now.
It
I know you
goes up
gave
in
up
a
an
gout
eye.
of flame. It is gone. Its tattered, scorched robe floats to the ground. There is just one left.
Eliara, let's get out of here.
Let's get out.
The one that's left approaches Hercule because Hercule's the one killing its friends. And it reaches out for him. And it rolls a 13 versus your AC. That's a hit.
Is my AC.
No.
It does 9 damage. Hercule
dead.
goes down.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
All
We
right.
effed around. We found out.
You effed
We
around.
effed around and
Yeah.
we found out.
Eliara, we're back to your turn.
All right. Tell me if this is metagaming, but I'm going to assume that Hercule could spend the hope to get himself up and out.
This is metagaming. Go ahead and do it.
Great. All right, Eliara. Here's how we'll play it. Eliara doesn't see this happening. She sees Hercule step forward, hammer this thing in the face. It disappears into a cloud of ash, and she's not wasting any time. She holding the shard of the blade. She stands up and runs for the opening, and then looks
Great.
back to see Hercule fall.
Are you carrying I think you're carrying the 2-foot piece, right?
Two foot piece.
No strength roll or anything like that necessary. Are you saying you're exiting the building?
Yes.
Okay, you're out, and then we'll just go ahead and skip down to Hercule's turn.
Okay. I will use a hope.
Yes, do it.
Pop myself up.
points. And you get
All
1d10 hit points.
I hope we haven't missed some rule like you can only use 1 hope per combat or something like that.
I got an 8.
Nice.
Once per round. Once per round. Okay.
Okay, we
great.
definitely broke that rule.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what?
Paula
we
used
needed
to.
it. Yeah, so what? We needed it.
That's okay. That's okay.
Look, it falls under the expansion pack, which is called Paula Deming Does Whatever She Wants.
She just makes it seem like
exactly
she
right.
knows she can do that, so you
Yeah, I
just
can
let
do
her do it.
Okay, so you're up with 8 hit points, Hercule, but I'm afraid that's your entire turn. Because
fair.
that's how I treated it with everybody else. The thing approaches you.
Oh, please, miss.
It reaches out its burning hands. And by the way, let's see. 15 of them are starting to float down into the room behind it. And it attacks. And it rolls a 10.
Oh, that misses!
It's your turn, Hercule.
Hercule! Come on!
Let's go.
You grab your shard and you run out.
Yes, sir.
It's a 5-foot shard. Give me a strength roll. You can use athletics with that.
Great. I got an 8.
You can re-roll.
Hercule. You got a little bit of hope left.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Oh, much better. I got a 24.
Oh, yes,
Hercule,
worth
you
it.
get out of the building with your shard. You guys go stumbling out into the desert, down past crumbled columns, through the sort of haze of broken glass and stone that floats around the building. And looking back, you see the radiant glow emanating from the temple, but none of the ashen priests follow you. You have successfully absconded with the sword.
We don't even know what it does.
It's broken still.
Let's toss it in the ravine and hope the Titan goes after it.
Good idea. I feel like we all have like a hope hangover right now. Like we just like used too much of it, and now we're like, oh, this is useless.
Well, you have to according to my calculations, 2 hope left.
Yeah, me too. We spent 10 of our 12 in that one.
That was harrowing.
That was bad.
As every 5e combat ends up being. All right. So you have escaped. Not without some loss. Not without some attrition. You believe you have an artifact that will allow you to defeat the Titan in some way. What are you going to do?
Track the Titan, right?
Let's go back to the Titan.
Okay. It makes sense that you would do a little planning here, maybe consult your sources. So each of you give me a roll to see if you can figure out what you might need to do with this sword.
Forgotten lore?
That would work perfectly.
Great.
Can I use my talent again?
You absolutely may.
Yes. All right. Oh my god! I don't know. I still don't know.
You still don't know. You're
I rolled
unsure.
a natural 5.
All right, that's okay because other people can make rolls.
Well, maybe from the searing burns that's left in my flesh, perhaps I feel some sort of kinship to it. Maybe I know something. I rolled a 19 on my forgotten lore.
Oh, they're very good. Okay. So the sword is broken, and in order for it to retain some sort of power, it will need to be reforged. Okay?
So we will need to take the time to do it.
That's right. And then I will ask that Eliara make a roll and Hercule as well to see what they can find out about what to do next.
Could I do... let's do a wisdom roll just to see...
You want to do straight up wisdom?
Straight up wisdom.
Okay, yeah, you may.
6.
6.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. 5. Correction.
You had a -1 in wisdom and you asked to make a wisdom roll?
No, I have a +2, but in my mind my roll was so bad, my mind said +3.
Oh, okay.
I looked at my sheet and realized just how bad it was.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe Hercule, you should
forge the sword.
I feel like perception is the best thing I could.
Yes, that's great. You can use that.
I got a 15.
Okay. Hercule, you remember earlier when you were looking at the Titan that up near its chest there were shards of glass coming out of it, and you only connect it now because you see all the shards of glass around the temple. But you're a warden. You're a fighter, a soldier. You think that might be a place where a blade could go in.
That could be a weak point.
Exactly. So, tell me what you'd like to do.
We've got to get this blade reforged somehow.
Should we just go back to our...
Go back to the haven.
Yeah.
Our haven.
Use the forge. It's going to take time, but I think it's what we'll have to do.
Perhaps the elders will have some wisdom. We do not.
If he's on his way to the haven, anyway, then we're all going to the same place.
Yes.
That's right, and this is a great time to check back in with the haven. Because time is passing. Let's first of all see how long it's going to take you to get to the haven. So that's the farthest journey, is when you travel from this area all the way back to your haven. So that's where you're definitely going now?
How long would it take versus... I thought I could maybe repair this without the forge, but it would take like 3 or 4 days? Is that what we said before?
It will take at minimum 4 days, but it might take longer. Remember that the broken world, time and distance are twisted, so you're not positive.
Well, we can either spend the time to go back and use the forge, or I can try and fix it without the forge in case I can do it more quickly, but I just don't know. So we have to decide as a team what we want to risk.
Is there... All right, let me ask you this question. Using my locate waymarkers skill, is there any way I could try and triangulate us to a ghost town of some sort that has an old forge that we might have passed along the way?
This is extremely interesting. You know how to locate waymarkers, and would there possibly be one that has a forge or some sort of blacksmithing equipment inside of it? Why don't you give me a wisdom survival roll to see if you can lead them to something like that?
I can do this. I can do it.
Got this.
Natural 18. 22.
Yes. Eliara knows how to lead you to a waymarker where that equipment is available.
I know a place. Follow me.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to rule that in this particular case, the landscape has become warped as to get you there quite fast. We'll say that you get there in a day. And you're looking at this, what remained of like a singular dwelling, where whoever used to live here, and they're long gone, did their own farming, tilling, smithing, everything. And there's an old forge there, cold in the night. And you may begin reforging this sword. And in order to reforge the sword, we're going to do a group test. Okay?
Ooh.
A group test means that you're all going to make rolls to help reforge the sword. And the DC to make them is a certain number. And you're going to try to beat that and get to a goal of like 8 altogether. So if the DC is 10 and Matt rolls a 12, then 2 will be added to your total, and you're trying to get to 8. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so...
Is that a broken weave rule?
That's a broken weave rule. It's a new thing called group tests. They're kind of cool. So, Eliara, what kind of roll do you think you'd like to make to help reforge this sword?
I mean, could I just roll a straight up strength or athletics?
Yes, you may.
It's a huge sword, right?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Go for it.
Okay. 12.
12. Okay. 12 is pretty good. That adds 2 to your total, right? And you're trying to get to 8. Okay, so you're helping maneuver the sword for our maker, and now I turn to Amel. What kind of role would you like to do to help reforge the sword?
Forgotten lore. It's my best one.
How did you guess that was already on my sheet? Go for it, Amel.
Hey.
Ooh, natural 18, so that's 22
Yes.
total. Oh,
Yes.
Ooh, that's 22 total?
wow. Yeah.
You just added 12 to the total, and you have helped to reforge the sword by knowing the secrets of its
Amazing.
forging.
Weird.
That's incredible. Really, really well done. I'd like other people to make rolls too, though, just to see how it goes for them. Hercule, how will you help?
I'll be using athletics to hold everything in place.
All right, go for it.
I got a 16.
Okay, a
Nice.
16. That's plus 6. You guys are like 20 over the total right now or something like
Yes.
that. And finally, our maker, I want you to make a roll too. I don't want anybody to feel left out.
I will try and seal the deal somehow with my crafting skill.
Sure you don't want to do a performance roll?
I would like to perform
Wow.
like I spent a whole year undercover as a blacksmith, just to prepare for this moment. Okay, that's 17 total.
Nice.
Okay, you guys crushed it. You guys really, really crushed it. You have so many more points than you need. And so when you get done, you know what? You did so well that normally it takes 3 days to reforge the sword. I'm going to say that it took you 2.
Yes. Good job, everyone.
However, that
Just at
does
the end
mean
of
we're
this
at-
long 2 days, sweaty and covered in soot and burned and singed. I think we've really created something really special here.
But that does mean we're at 21 days, which means 3 weeks have passed, which
One
means
more
your
week.
haven now takes 3d6 crisis damage.
Hunter
Okay.
Colas is not gonna survive.
What?
People die. More people die. And not only that, its decay goes up 2.
Oh.
The decay of the haven is now at 4. The Titan approaches. You now have to take the sword to the Titan, unless there's something else you'd like to do.
Do we have any catapults or trebuchets?
Maybe our maker could create one. Would you like to try to create a trebuchet to do this work for you?
Do we want to launch the sword into the?
I want you to put me in the trebuchet and I'll hold the sword.
Oh
You
my
can
gosh!
launch me into its chest.
Fastball
And I will-
special.
Okay,
Can I-
fastball special.
Push it.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay,
love that.
great.
Nothing can go wrong.
It would take days to make a trebuchet, except if you crit it, maybe it would only take 1 day.
Okay.
We could spend
Isn't it
hope to
possible
crit
that
it.
our haven has some?
Oh, would you now like to travel all the way back to the Haven after
Oh,
specifically
sorry.
going to a waymarker to forge it?
Oof.
For some reason, I thought we were back at the haven. I apologize.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Can we assist in the making of the trebuchet since we got nothing else to do?
Sure. So you're making a device that will fire the sword into the creature.
Well, it'll fire me into the creature as I hold the sword.
I like it. Yes, everybody let's make another group test. This time the goal will be 10. And you probably can't use the same skills necessarily that you used before. Depending on the pitch. I don't know, athletics might work again, but I'm not sure that Forgotten Lore will work on a trebuchet. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know the legend. I know the legend of the lost
That's
technology
crap.
of the trebuchet.
Right. Okay. So Eliara, what role are you making?
I mean, I would like to do athletics again, just to be like the one who sources some of the materials and helps hold things together as our maker makes them.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible. That means that you have already succeeded at the entire task.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it was a DC 10 and a goal of 10. So
Done.
let's just get more
Our luck
rolls.
has
I just
really
want to see
changed.
I want to see how good this goes. Amel, what are you going to roll? I want to see what hilarious skill other than
know
Forgotten
what?
Lore you're going to bring to this.
You relax over there. I also am trained in acrobatics, and I feel like that could help.
I
somehow?
think it could. Yeah, you kind of acrobatics with a trebuchet, testing it out, firing you across the landscape. Go for it.
You're the
Yeah.
test dummy.
I'm the test
Amazing.
dummy.
I agree.
Ooh, natural 14, so that's 16.
Great. So that's you are now 16, you are now 6 over the total that you needed. Hercule, what skill are you going to use to help create the trebuchet?
Well, like we said before, athletics is my best skill, and I still feel like it's. Although you said we couldn't use it, I feel like.
No, I said that athletics
need to be
probably would
moved.
work again, but
Yeah.
Forgotten Lore probably won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will do athletics, and I got a 21.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Nailing it.
Wow, we couldn't roll like this during combat.
We're now like 17 over the goal that we needed, and now it is our maker's turn. This
Now
is
my-
key.
Crafting, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I did before, but it's the thing that I do. And unnatural 20.
Okay.
Wow.
So you guys end up being 27 over it. So I'm going to tell you that this thing looks like it's going to work. This thing,
Yeah.
it looks like you're going to be aim
can
it
do this.
with Hercule in the hot seat and fire him with the sword at the Titan.
Amazing.
Now, do you think you're going to go to the Titan now, or would you like to do something else?
Go to
I
the
think we go
Titan.
now.
What else?
is there to do?
I don't know.
What
I
else
didn't
would we be
imagine that a
doing?
trebuchet would be built.
You
All
know,
right.
I think we do it.
Great. All right. There is another final journey then. One more journey. Once more into the breach, dear friends. You all head out on your journey. Remember the various re-rolls and little
It's my
things that you get
page.
to do. And could you each make the roll that you make for your journey? So, for example, the leader can make persuasion, insight, or performance. The outrider, survival, natural lore. Quartermaster, athletics, smith tools, sentry, perception, and stealth. Everybody make your roll to see how the journey goes.
Natural 19, that's a 24 animal handling.
Nice.
And I think I'm riding Bosco.
Oh, that's right. You're riding
Very
the
good.
strong backs. Okay, great. Yeah.
14 for perception.
Very good. You keep an eye out on things. You notice the Titan's wake long before anybody else does, and you guys are able to avoid marching right into the decay that it's leaving behind it. And now you're kind of following it at a parallel path. Yes, Amel, your roll.
10.
A 10. Okay, what did you roll?
10.
No, I mean, what skill did you use?
Oh, they're all the same. I'm not trained in any of the skills to be a leader.
Oh, okay, yes. You're a very poor leader and no one listens to you. And finally, Lamaya, what did you roll?
Even with 1d8, which we could maybe... there's one more if Amel would like to use it to add to hers. I have rolled a 12 with my smith's tools.
Okay.
So,
Would you like to
not
give
amazing.
another D8 to Amel or use it yourself?
Amel, why don't you take this d8, see what it can do for you.
Let's see. D8. Plus 4, so it's 14 total.
That's a success from everybody but our maker, Lamaya.
I'm tired I got blisters, calluses. I've been doing so much.
You see the Titan on the horizon. It rises up 100 feet in the air. It's got its burnished gold armor and its black chitinous shell, many arms and legs coming off of it, and the world, the land behind it roils and twists and bubbles with decay. You know that the light glinting off of it is incredibly dangerous, but you have to get close enough to chance it with your trebuchet. So, as you approach, the sun twists in the sky, rays reflect off of the armor and shoot toward you. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
We have our god skin on. Is that
I
helping in
remember,
any way?
make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
5.
fuck.
How does healing work?
I rolled a natural
Not
one.
now, Matthew, not
Okay.
now.
Oh,
We're
hold on.
probably
Let me tell you
full,
about this
right?
really
Because
cool
we've had long rests.
rule about healing. And what we can do is there's several paragraphs that we can.
Yes, what did you roll, Amel?
I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, that's bad, Amel. Amel,
it?
somehow it hit the part of your flesh armor where it wasn't covered. Like it hit right in your eye area where you had to keep an open hole. And so you take 27 radiant damage.
Oh.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, I'm going to take a last stand.
Oh, damn. Okay. Paula,
No.
please pull out the last stand rule and explain it to us again.
No, don't do it. Here's
Because
what
this is going to
happens.
take me down to being critically injured. So now
No,
I will.
I want to deal with everybody else's saves first. Okay, so
Okay.
Matthew,
Okay.
you failed your save, so you take 13 radiant damage. Hercule, how'd you do on your dexterity save?
I got a 10.
A 10. Okay, that's a fail. You take 13 radiant damage. Your armor is giving you resistance, but the heat of it is still searing your skin even through this godlike armor. And finally, Lamaya, how did you do on your save?
I got a 20 total.
Okay, you take no damage from the strange razor light that is coming out of the thing. And now you guys are close. Now, how does our friend make a
Wait.
last stand?
Are we fully healed?
We would be, right? Because it's
We were.
been like 2 or 3 days.
And you.
That's my favorite question that players ask. I'll always be like, 3 weeks have passed. You've gone to the village. You've eaten. You've talked to the Baron of the manor, and he's given you a new quest. And then a player will go, wait, remember when we fought that goblin 9 nights ago?
Listen,
Am I healed from that?
time is warped in this
True.
realm and that
Time
realm.
is warped. You have been healed from your previous damage.
Okay, then I didn't get critically hit and I can't do a last stand. If it's 18, I'm still
It was
up.
27 damage.
Oh, okay. I'm taking a last stand. That's 0.
Okay.
Definitely don't have 27 points.
All right, what does the last stand mean again?
In the darkest
so I'm
moments,
Oh, go ahead.
some people choose to make the greatest sacrifice for their allies. Please.
And then how
after
does
you, I
that
didn't
work
mean to talk over
mechanically,
you.
Paula? That's your favorite rule. Please tell us
Do you
about
need
it.
me to? Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over Kate.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to read it.
Perfect. So the following happens. You are no longer critically injured. You recover from any conditions you have. You are immune to all damage. You gain advantage on all tests. You deal double damage with all attacks. At the end of your turn, you die. Nothing can prevent this death. Your sacrifice inspires your allies and becomes a thing of legend. The haven gains hope equal to 1 plus the number of remaining party members.
Here's what I'm going to rule. You see your friends getting blasted by this razor light, and you realize the only thing you can do, Amel, is put yourself in the seat of this trebuchet, lift the sword, and fire yourself into the Titan's heart.
Okay.
Yes.
That will be your last stand and final sacrifice. Does that
So-
sound right?
That is so metal. Yes.
Then
I'm
even
like dodging out of the way. They're like, Amel, no!
And she
You have-
straps herself in.
you have advantage on all rolls right now.
Oh, no.
How do you fire yourself at the Titan? You could take a ranged attack roll.
Well, let's see. I don't know where that is on my character sheet.
Well, it would be your dexterity bonus plus
Oh, yeah.
proficiency bonus.
0. Oh, proficiency would be 2. Okay. All right, so let's try ranged attack to launch myself.
Oh man, this is exciting because you have the sword in your lap and you've put yourself up inside the cockpit of the trebuchet and you're reaching down and you almost can't make it, but your fingertips are just brushing the lever that will fire you. And then finally you pull the lever and you fire into the air with the sword pressed against your chest, burning you, Amel. It's burning your skin. It's burning the god skin off of you. And you fly toward the thing and you've rolled with advantage. And what did you roll?
Natural 20.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. Not kidding.
Amel blasts into the heart of the thing. It suddenly cracks open, filled with light. every crevice of it, every line on its skin, every edge, every angle becomes like laser light covering all of it. And suddenly it freezes with this sword hanging out of its chest. And Amel, her hand goes limp and she falls. And as she falls hundreds of feet into the ground, her body turns to ash and sand and is scattered on the wind. For humans in the broken world suffer the curse of the wind. And so she's carried off, perhaps to fabled Valentor, on the wind. The thing hangs there, frozen, light emanating off of it. It does not move. What would you like to do?
Run. Oh, I can't run up to her body because she's gone.
I mean, can we just observe it to make sure it doesn't, if it's forever there, or
yeah,
and then eventually make our way back to the haven?
You observe into the night, and when night falls, it continues to glow, but it does not move. And it gives an eerie yellow light to everything around it, like a sun in the middle of the night sky. But it does not move. Days pass. It does not move. The
All right,
razor
Ellie,
light no longer emanates from it.
Could I place a waymarker here, basically that says like "stay away," and then we can head home?
Eliara places a waymarker. The warning sign that says, "This area is dangerous. It is a place of decay. None may pass here." And we close on that waymarker. What does the waymarker look like?
It's a kind of monument that's made to shape kind of like the sword itself that we use to defeat the Titan, and then it is inscribed with Amel's name.
And that is the last thing we see as we hear the Strongbacks move away across the desert back to Guardian's Lament. Thank you, players, and thank you, Cubicle 7, for this really cool setting, this really cool way to play 5e. I had a blast with it. That was a wild session. I hope I wasn't too abusive.
Not at all.
Amazing.
Have you ever had a party build a trebuchet before?
No, and also building the trebuchet was really smart because it says if you get close to this thing, you take decay points.
Yeah.
And there's this whole process to try to climb it. Building the trebuchet kind of got you around some of the difficulties that you would have faced otherwise. It was kind of brilliant, and it makes Paula's maker character kind of cooler too because she got to do lots. Everybody got to do lots of the shit that their character was good at, I felt like. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff that your characters got to do even at level 1. This is called Broken Weave. It's from Cubicle 7. It's available on September 18th. I actually think this came out on September 20th, so it's available now. Go and get it. And thanks everybody for watching, and thank you, Kate Stamas, Paula Deming, Matthew Capodicasa, and Jason Charles Miller. I really appreciate it. You guys were amazing, and you're
amazing.
so broken. Good night. Bye-bye.
Most epic natural 20 ever.
Bye-bye.